Well, I think this board has become more focused because it has an understanding of what it is and where it's trying to go. Before, I think we were kind of floundering, trying to understand what the system is and how all the pieces fit together, and it's still a very complex machine. I think what we try to do is dissect the machine, just like a business person would, is take apart the pieces, find out how they work, how to find a way to remesh them to make them more efficient and more productive.
The reason we have a successful board right now is primarily due to the leadership of Kerry Schwab.
As the first 2 or 3 years went by, it didn't change a lot, but I remembered something my dad told me years ago. He always said to me, things aren't given to you in life. You need to work for things, and you need to put back more than you've taken.
His vision, and also the implementation of his vision, and his ability to get the board, and particularly the executive committee, to work together. We have an extremely strong team spirit on the executive committee, which is spilling over to the rest of the board.
Between Bill Little and myself and Michelle, we really, I think, understand of what the goals are, and with Michelle's nurturing, she's the one that really keeps us focused on understanding what's happening because she lives and breathes it every day.
The connection between the governing board, the WIB, and the staff, the RCWE folks, our physical group, is one of unusual characteristics. It's the kind of chemistry that every organization would love to have.
The partnership between RCWE and the board and the executive committee is extremely strong.
You know, I think what makes the board go, I think what turns them on in a big way, is the manner in which they've been selected originally. Getting the right person in the right vacancy at the right time with the right motivation to get involved.
I do think the role of the WIB is increasingly important in our community. There are lots of federal dollars flowing through WIBs throughout Pennsylvania, and the whole workforce issue is critically important to our region.
What's really enjoyable for me is to be able to go to my Pennsylvania Fund for Workforce Solutions meetings and talk to them about how successfully Erie collaborates. And that could not be possible without the WIB. I mean, the WIB is leading the state, if not one of the strongest regions in the nation in terms of their competency and the core set of work.
The nonprofit sector sees that very vividly. I mean, their folks are hurting, they're looking for work. Yet employers are looking for employees. So somehow we as a community need to figure this out and make it very simple and user-friendly. And I do think the WIBs play a role with that, along with CareerLink and other nonprofit organizations in our community.
Either the glass is half empty or half full. We look at it as being half full. So our goal is to help those who are unemployed, and my goal along with that is to help the employers, because if there aren't employers, there are no employees.
Recently, we've had a lot of skilled workers coming out into this market that they haven't had to look for a job in many years, and they don't know where to go to. There's a really wonderful organization called Opportunities Erie, and they are a transition team. They are folks like themselves who have been dislocated, who are trying to figure out, where's that next job? How am I going to keep food on the table?
We hooked up with the Rapid Response Team, BevRap, and CareerLink, and we are like a rocket that has been lit.
They're helping others, it helps themselves, but it also creates networks, and they can think of these jobs that they might never have thought about getting into.
We at Opportunities Erie, we take this very seriously. We extend our hands out to these folks, and we're there to put an arm around them and tell them, listen, we know how you feel, because we're there too.
My passion lies in helping people. And this job is very unique in allowing me to help both sides of the fence. Helping employers be able to figure out what can they do, help the job seekers when they go out, because I've been one of them. I have lost my job. I know when you do that, you have the grief curve, and you're sitting there figuring out how can I wake up the next day, what am I gonna do? I've sent out 100 resumes. What's happening with me right now?
I joined Opportunities Erie because I feel so strongly about industry. I want to see it grow. I want to see more come in. My hope is that through the network and the connections with the people, that I would be blessed with a job someday in the future. And I know that I will.
And we have a lot of entities out there in these organizations who really want to help. And we have to figure out how do we go from where we are today and be able to move on. And it might be something simple as working with one of the agencies and setting up a training plan. Or it might be someone who wants to sit down and figure out, I need to diversify my business, but I don't know how to do that. And we can reach out to these different agencies like the IRC and the Workforce Investment Board and Economic Development.
I could clearly state that our relationship with the WIB has been very positive and very beneficial to the employers. When we're able to employ our services, it has worked.
We're at a stage now in the global economy where you have to constantly be adding to your skill set. And so when we take these dollars, everyone has a tendency to look at, well, we helped this company train their employees, so boy, the company benefited. Well, yes, they did. But the employee who works at that business just got trained on a new system, on a new approach, on a new process. That individual has added to their skill set.
A healthy economic region based on a strong manufacturing presence means wages and means a healthier community. It is that simple.
We currently use about 182 community partners to make services happen for youth.
I so often say to the parents who come to St. Benedict's, you know, we're really interested in you, but we're equally interested in your children.
The linkages between the services through the CareerLinks in government and community are what we're about.
My husband was ill in 2007, and I lost my job then in February because I was home taking care of him a lot, and my job didn't encompass that.
I was introduced to Mary White from another counselor. She thought she was a dislocated worker. We went through that process and she was unable to collect. She'd been with an employer for a number of years.
Through Sue, I was able to get funding to go to school, and I did that for an 11-month program. And I also worked part-time, but the CareerLink was real supportive in, you know, helping me get that funding because I wasn't eligible for unemployment.
You have an adult returning to a school environment that they haven't done in a long time. She's worked for many years. She's got a situation at home she has to worry about, and she's learning a whole new skill.
After the 11-month program, I had an internship at the Regional Cancer Center, and that's where I ended up finally getting employed. So if I would have never been able to go to school and, you know, be able to have that positive interaction with CareerLink, you know, my job opportunities would have been a lot more limited.
It was just successful, just to see the look on her face upon completion, meeting with her at her site, showing me her office. It was so exciting, the before and after view, you know, the success of a person. And she didn't get stuck in any one place. She just kept going, just kept driving, and that was very positive to see. And to be able to work with her was really special.
You have to do everything right, and that's where we come in, to make sure everybody has the tools that's relevant to put their best foot forward.
I worked with Kaiser Aluminum for 16 years. They became Accuride. And just because of the economy, my position dissolved. And by dissolving, I actually came in contact with CareerLink and got involved with Greg Flinchbach.
When Al came to us, he was really at wit's end, not knowing where to turn.
CareerLink put me in contact with the people who need the positions.
When we see an individual, we're not just seeing that person, we're actually dealing with their entire family's situation.
It was scary. It was a lot of pressure. I have 3 children that live with me as a single parent, and my options were very few.
It's very trying these days with the volume of people we're facing. We're 3 to 4 times the many that we normally see.
It's a lifeline. There's no other way to put it.
The credit still goes to him. He's the one that still's walking the walk, doing the work every day. He's proud of himself. He should be. He's accomplished an awful lot in a downturned economy.
All around, it's been a good thing for me, and it's actually exposed me to places that I wouldn't have otherwise been exposed.
Al is a great example about what is really great about the CareerLink.
One vision.
One vision.
One vision.
One vision.
Now more than ever, one vision, connected.